Hey, Tony.
Hmm?
No, you're good. Do the thing. Starting soon.
You're good. Now the volume of the music will need to come down when you start speaking.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, we can hear everybody on stream right now.
Hi.
Hello. Hello, everyone.
All right, so I'll just go mute and we get started. I think that should be enough. Let's go ahead. Let's go live and see what happens. All right, how's it going, everyone? My group, how am I sounding? I know they'll hear you too, but yeah. Is everything coming through okay? Oh! Woohoo! I am heard, and bring music down a bit more. More than happy to. Is that better? Is this a good? Is this a bad? Is this not a big deal? All right. Well, I mean, if it's sounding good right now, that means I just don't touch anything, and the only things I do now are inside the lore link window. Right? Otherwise, just don't touch anything. Okay, so now where did I put the lore link window? Here we go. All right, I guess before we get started, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Tony. I am the social media / communications person for LoreLink. And we've been talking for a little while now about me running Star Trek Adventures, and we finally decided at Origins we picked up the starter box set, and we said in September Tony is going to do the streams showing how to set this up in LoreLink and all that. And so here we are. It is the first Tuesday in September, and I'm having to bring the music down a little bit more. Better? Yes, no. All right, well, while waiting, let's get a sip of the tea. How about that? On the mixer, it's down to almost 0. Down in pretzel itself. Well, pretzel is pretty good too, so. Is that better? Have I figured it out? Have I defeated the loud demon? All right, cool. All right, let's get pretzel out of the way and get back in. So, as I was saying, they picked up the box set for me for Star Trek Adventures, 2nd edition, and we are here to get this figured out. Now, the interesting thing, the reason why we wanted to go with me doing one of these instead of Mike or Mark for a change is they've worked on LoreLink. They have built it. I'm the social media guy. If you've ran into me at a convention like Gen Con or Origins, then you know that I know a lot of the high-level stuff, but I haven't had a chance really to actually use it more than just helping a little bit with testing. So, yeah, this is going to be how somebody that's not that familiar with LoreLink gets stuff figured out. So let's go ahead, let's bounce over, because of course I have started a little bit. I think it was a couple years ago, Mark and I did a stream that you can find on our YouTube channel covering how Mark would get started with one of the original Star Trek Adventures starter sets. And so I reviewed a little bit of that and started setting up some of the framework so I wasn't just starting blind. So here we go. Right here, we've got the Infinite Combinations campaign. So far, I've got the description. Short campaign offers a thrilling journey through space, the opportunity to unlock the power of both science and technology, and the chance to experience the perspectives of different species. I haven't put anything else down because, like I said, we're just going for the bare bones on this. And let's see now. I have also set up at least started setting up some of the events, started setting up some of the locations, started setting up some of the characters. So what we're going to be working on today is starting to get most of this information in, getting it filled out, and getting it tied together so it's going to make sense when I run the game in a few weeks, which I believe, and you all can correct me if I'm wrong in the chat, I think we decided on the 26th, is because all the voices I saw on the poll said the 26th, everyone else was quiet. So I'm going to be running the Lorelink players through one of these adventures. Now, the thing about Star Trek Adventures, before I get started and getting everything set up, is it is based on a television series. And that means it is very episodic in nature. There's an Act 1, there's an Act 2, there's an Act 3 as you're getting things set up. So that's why if you looked at some of the events I started, we've got Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 3, and each of these are just a different piece of the adventure. And it'll start out, because it's a starter adventure, it's going to be almost like, okay, here's how you roll the dice, here's how you do this, and then it'll become more of an actual role-playing out the episode the further you get in, and the more, well, I mean, everybody knows how tutorials work, right? So, there we go. All right, so where should I get started first? Well, I am on the event screen. So let's just go ahead and no, I am not sharing the PDFs. I am not that, well set up. But let's go ahead. Let's get some of these PDFs up. Make sure I can still see the chat. And let's see, that's the rulebook PDF. Don't need that right now. We need the adventure PDF, Chapter 1, Incursion Point. That is what we're working on right now. In fact, I even started creating a timeline on it. So, something is going. If you can hear dogs in the background, I do apologize. The windows are open, and so somebody might be on the sidewalk, and that is, a mortal sin in the eye of two pit bulls. But anyway, let's go into the events. We've got Act 1, Scene 1, Operation Evacuate. And I've got that up right here. And let's go to that. Okay, Mike's not picking them up. I thought I had everything finally set up well on this microphone, but you never know. So right now we've just got the short description. The city of Chrysidia on Kismic 6 needs immediate evacuation. So what's happening is there are... I'm not going to go too much into it. We'll see later. But so what we've got here, we've got the short description. We have a description, so it's everything that will be happening, right? So we're going to start with the captain's log. And copy and paste from PDFs is always a good time, isn't it? So let's get... Come on. There we go. Get this copied, and let's get this pasted into here and get it formatted. Because I think one thing that Mark's even said is, it's because every PDF is set up differently. Sometimes it helps you having to retype everything, but the formatting is going to be a little off. Okay, so format and format. All right, and since this is something that's being said, let's go ahead, let's get that quoted. So, use because I'm not necessarily that great with hypertext. Thank you, Mark, for adding in the bar up there. So now we've got that labeled as a quote, which messed up some of my formatting again, but at this point, So let's see. Oh, I gotta bring this PDF up. My eyes are not as good as they used to be. There we go. So, first thing we have going on is we have the players are beaming down to Chrysidia carrying pattern enhancers, tricorders, and whatever other essential equipment they want to bring. Okay, I lied. The formatting was bugging me. Yeah, I know. This is so exciting. Thank you all for joining as I figure out how to put together my the first game TTRPG I have ran since 2006 or 7, I believe. So that's figured this would be interesting watching somebody that hasn't ran a game in years, that hasn't fully used Lore Link, that is for the first time really looking at Star Trek Adventures. Figured that'd be a good thing to put up on the stream. So you say that, and what goes through my head is Eddie, from Who Framed Roger Rabbit. But let's just go ahead and continue with the description here. And as I move along, I'm probably going to figure out that I've put something that not quite in the quote-unquote right place, and I'll have to come back and, fix it. But that's part of learning something, right? That's just what happens. Thank you for starting every section with all caps. Okay, so we've got another quote that's going in here. So this time I'm going to get it set up as the quote, and then I will fix the formatting. So I hope everybody is doing okay today. It's kind of lousy. We had a really nice week here in Indianapolis last week, and I've had the house open almost all week. And then today it started getting warm again, but I'm stubborn, And therefore the windows are still open and the fans are still on, which means I am getting I'm a little warm today, but it is what it is. Distance towards runners. Just out of curiosity, who in the group is familiar at all with Star Trek? Gonna let you know right now that the adventure that we are working on is set in the original series / Discovery or early season / Strange New Worlds era. So, we're still figuring out. They're still exploring everything. The ship is going to be a Constitution class USS Challenger. So let's see. We've got characters being down. Here's the next thing to read. And this is rolling into the first opportunity for a conflict scene. Now, one of the things that Mark and I did discuss on our stream is that when I'm running this in person, I don't have much room. I mean, there's going to be how I run it on a stream, but I also want to do this for friends. And there's not going to be a lot of room to spread out the box set stuff and have the computer set up with the lore link and maybe having the PDFs up. So I want to try to have everything I can here inside lore link. So that's why you're seeing me do a lot of cutting and pasting, a lot of copy pasting, and just figuring out where these pieces are going to make sense to me as I'm running through this. So, trekking through the stars sounds unrealistic. It takes someone like Lucille Ball to convince me that it'd work. Okay, that's got to be a quote from someone. Because that definitely sounds like, was it CBS 50 odd years ago? Also fair, that works. So, okay, so we've got the event details here. Not worrying about a trigger. Part 2. I accidentally scrolled on the PDF, so I have to get back to where it was. Okay, so the first item we have up is an encounter. So, do I want to, how much do I want to load this event up? I can, how do I want to get this set up? And Mark, feel free to do some backseat driving if you would so like. I am 100% okay with that. Because right now I'm actually just of the mind that I'm just going to keep putting everything in this one, and then when I'm running the game, I just scroll down. Which I guess isn't a wrong way to do it, but there might be a more right way. So let's go ahead, though, and... see, that part of markup I can remember. See, one great thing is if the rule book was actually online, I'd be able to just do this and link to it. So that is a way to do it. There is no real right way. You can break things apart and linking them if you'd want to be able to make each section its own linkable thing with notes. But if it's just one long narration, scrolling happens. And honestly, I'd be scrolling if I'm using this or if I'm using the PDF. So, I figure what I'm doing here is I'm making the events. So I'm going to be taking all the event information, putting it in. Then I'm going to be going in and I'm going to be finding out. I've already made a couple, but I need to find out which characters the team is going to be playing. So then I can, get the character sheets in here and get them assigned to everybody. And so here I've already got like an introduction, the traits, values, focuses, pastimes. Started making the character sheet from the game here in LoreLink, so I have that to refer to. And then there's the locations, there's this, and there's a planet, there's a city, some of the places on the Challenger I just figured will probably be coming up, even though I haven't read that far yet. So start getting all these together and just getting them all linked. So I just have to, it's like, okay, so this character's doing this, bounce there, and yeah, there we go. See, this is not, and the thing is, when you're setting up a starter adventure, you don't have to worry about everything ongoing. Like, this is the sort of thing that, we'll run it once with the LoreLink players on the 26th. After that, when I'm running it with friends, we'll run the starter adventure to see if it's something they like. And then we'll go back through and create actual characters for them. We can figure out if we want to do it original series era, the 90s Trek era with Next Generation DS9 Voyager, or if we want to do more new Trek Discovery way out in the future, or even just a little bit more in the future Picard era. There's even Lower Decks books that, of course, I have purchased. But, there's a bunch of choices on which type of Trek you can play in. And so when I'm doing that, then I'll worry about getting everything set up and trying to think in advance on how I'm going to have to add things to it as the players' characters grow and as they visit more places and so on and so forth. But for right now, I'm putting in a, starter adventures are almost a step and a half up from choose your own adventure. So I've just got to make sure all that information is in here. So as I'm running it, I can find everything. So let's go back over to the events and keep putting this in. And I'm sure if there's anything I am misrepresenting, Mark will let us know in the chat and I will read it so people know. But once again, I know the high level stuff in here. I have not, this is the first time I've done more than adding a couple of quick, and I didn't save. I did all that and I didn't save. Oh well. I have done that a lot lately. Yep. What's really bad is as I'm setting up my online shop, I'll do the same thing. It's like, get everything in, and it's like, oh, I need to check something, switch, come back, and it's like, oh yeah, I didn't save. So, happens to everyone. Happens to everyone. So. Right now, I'm just going to worry about getting everything back in. I will not make you all sit through, and as I format, again, I just want to get back up to where I was. Now, I am going to do the quotes and all that so I can remember that. But yeah, and probably moving forward, I'm not going to worry so much about the formatting as well, because that is just extremely, extremely boring. And I mean, I don't need any help being boring. Okay, quote, 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 scroll back up. Okay, we are almost caught back up. I'll take care of all this after the session, or after I do this, because yeah, a couple of streams is not gonna help me get everything ready for the game. So this is gonna take some offline work as well. So counter 10. Let's hear it for fonts for the R's and the A's. Or the R's can look like A's. So, all right. Now we are continuing the encounter. During the turn of conflict, player character can attempt one minor action and task. Get that information in there so we can follow that. And I scrolled too far once again. There we go. R. Yes, as we are working with open windows, there are people in the backyard doing work as well, so apologies if any of that goes through, but if the dogs didn't go through, I've got a feeling nothing else is either, so. Okay, let's copy this, move on to the next page. Go. And continue pasting that. Have to set their phasers to kill. Phaser. Okay. So these I'm going to type because it'll just actually go quicker. All right, and Okay. Try to remember those so I don't have to keep scrolling back up to the toolbar. Okay, so 2d20. There. Oh, players buying more dice. Yeah, gamers don't want more dice. What are you talking about? And actually, what it actually means when it says players buying more dice is your standard is 2d20. By spending momentum, which you gain through different actions, you and your fellow players can have, I think, up to 5 d20s to roll. You can't go above that. And I think it's weird how it's like if you want one extra d20, it's going to cost 1 momentum. The second one will cost 2 momentum, and the third one will cost 3 momentum. So that is, if you want all 3, that is 6 momentum you need to spend. So did think it was really interesting. I haven't gone through my Daggerheart book yet, but I want to say a lot of the threat and momentum as I was looking through this reminded me a lot of, I had an opportunity to see Critical Role a few weeks ago, heck, a month ago now, and they were playing with Daggerheart, and I can't remember what Daggerheart calls it, but they it looks like they were using a similar system, which, I mean, it's not a surprise. The book even says we have borrowed from this, and this. So they're taking all the mechanics that they like from other games and putting them in there. So this kind of reminds me of that. So all right. $5:35. 1 moment. Gotta hydrate. Got the tea for the throat and got the water bottle to, not die. So, I already got all those. Let's roll on to the next page. Yeah, see, and like one of the great things that I know they've added into the paid levels of hey Luna, is the ability to put hotspots on the map, so you can click on different areas of the map to go to events. But I don't think that this is something we're gonna have to worry about in this game. And the music is a little loud. I was told the music was fine. I was told the music was good. Why did they lie to me, the lying liars? Okay, honestly, the music in Pretzel's at 2%. So, yeah, for calming and chill channels on Pretzel, there is some really, really intense stuff. Just like, for when you say no singing, and they still have voices in them, and yeah. I didn't pay for it. You all did, so. All right, so let us continue on with putting in Act 1, Scene 1. So let's add in the taking a hit section here. I didn't scroll down far enough. Recovery and first aid is a... There we go. And wrapping up with concluding the conflict. All right, so there we go. Now I'm going to take a look, and it looks like they are wrapping up this area, or this section, with the Bryozoan Devourer information as a minor NPC. So I've got, what I figure we got to do here is save. First, save. Tony, remember. 20, don't we have a command for that? And then, is a devourer a creature or a character? Let's go creature. So create a creature. We've got the Zoandevour. I am lousy working on 100 character limits, and you think I would do better not being the person, that used to work Twitter back when it was, 240? So just for short description, very hungry creature, but then we'll go into the description and we'll make that a little bit more, information there. So... got traits. Colony creature. And hungry is a trait. All right, that's one of my traits right now. It's getting close to dinner time. Personal threat is a 0. Protection helps if I use the correct tag there. Shin is a 0. Gotta love it when the fingers don't land on the right keys. Attributes. Got a control of 10. We have a fitness of 8. We have a presence of 2. We have a daring of 8. You think that'd be higher considering they're going to eat armed people. Insight of 3, that seems about right, because once again they're trying to eat armed people. And reason is a 2. Okay. Not sure why these saints have a department, but I'm sure there's good reason, or else they wouldn't put it in the starter adventure, right? So once again, we'll go down the list here. Command just has a negative. Engineering is 0.3. We just won't worry about the hyphens on this one. It's a negative. I'm assuming that's just a 0. I will find out. 0.1, and science is a negative. Attack, we have okay, seriously, I need bifocals. 4 knockdown, size 1H. And let's go ahead, let's clean up some of the formatting here. And the special rule will be the last thing on this critter. Okay. Oh, that is going to be fun, because that is definitely something that's going to happen to one of the crew. Spending 1 threat to create a trait related to damaged gear its target is carrying. Now taking bets on who gets their gear damaged. You see, the way you say my stuff just sounds like, you know, Thor Ragnarok, behold my stuff. All right. Scene 2, transporters. And on this one, the crew has 5 hours to evacuate 600 civilians. Y'all looking forward to that? Okay. First off, a game master note. You know, you say people love being evacuated, but we have also seemed to have, you know, some creatures that do not want you to evacuate. Start of a new scene. Remove 1 from the right. Yes, as your players gain momentum in Star Trek Adventures through their actions, I think they can have a pool of up to 5 momentum that anybody in the group can use. And at the beginning of a new scene, a momentum gets taken away. So that's fun. So pretty much it's use it or lose it. But the thing is, it's like, do you want to use it now for that extra D20 to try to make a simple roll, or do you want to hold on to it just in case? Just in case you've got a big roll towards the end of the scene. So it's it's kind of like, when you finish up a role-playing game on the computer where all of a sudden you have 700 potions because you're saving it because you don't know if you're ever going to need it. And so you never used it. Like I said, I'm not going to worry about much of the formatting, but the all caps annoys the heck out of me. All right, so we've got Scene 2 transporters, that section taken care of this. All right. Ask your players what they would like their characters to do for the first hour of evacuation time. Please remember, this is not Dungeons and Dragons. There is no looting the corpses. If they have looting rules, it's in the standard book, not in the starter set. But considering Star Trek and Starfleet in particular is anything you want, there is something right there on the ship that can make it for you. It's like, why I don't see there being much looting done by Starfleet officers. Okay, so let's get that italicized. This is not wanting to italicize. I don't know why. There we go. And it might have now that I'm looking at it, might have italicized once again. The eyes aren't working that great, so. Okay. Let's put some examples of actions player characters could take, include clear evacuation routes of Statistics. Right. Go down here, see, yep. I like the preview, makes me happy knowing if everything I'm doing is working. Speaking of which, let's save, because I've made that mistake once this evening. I don't want to make that mistake again. See, I knew we had that. I knew we had that in there. Now, the one thing I need to look into a bit more is how it says in here, once the progress track reaches 10. I have yet to find what a progress track is. So, I mean, you've got it right here, but how do you mark stuff off on it? So, but I'll get that figured out. I mean, you know, right now we're worried about getting all the information in. Actually making sure I can run it well for the players, I've still got a couple weeks on that. Like I'm not already panicking. But anyway, how are you all doing tonight? All right, cool. We are there. Come back and look at that later. Okay, getting the story, which means actually talking to people and investigating. Because remember, Star Trek's not just go in, blast everything, get people out. You know, a lot of officers believe that, you know what, if shots start getting fired and people start dying, then they have failed. And I really, really like that attitude. KIZOMIC is made of then a metallic layer, and then a chewy candy core. Heavy elements. No, I thought if Pikachu was crossing over into another game, it'd be like something like Call of Cthulhu or something like that. Pika 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 Cthulhu. Apologies to John Kovalik, who I believe made that shirt 20 years ago. Pokemon Preservation Society. And if you don't know what we're talking about when we're talking about Call of Cthulhu, you can find videos of us playing that game and more over on our YouTube channel. Unless you're already watching us on YouTube, and then, hey, look at our other videos. All right, so we've got all that's looking good. Thank you very much, 20. Always nice to have someone in the audience. Yes, we all have many hats we wear. All right, so this has got the Game Master notes. It's got a progress track. It's got momentum and complications and extended tasks. Juggles about 8 hats. Let's see. I've currently got 2 fezzes, a pork pie, 2 fedoras, a Mooby's visor, another fez, and an N7 helmet in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey, I've got 8 hats too. Oh yeah, I'm talking about the ones I can see. Oh, sorry, 9. I've also got a tan ball cap for my Ghostbusters costume. Okay, so looks like I forgot to put in yes, sign up for a Lore Link account today. Give us a budget to wear 1 less hat each. Okay, so this was above getting the story. So I'm going to add in this information about momentum and complications and extended tasks before I move on. There we go. Actually, let's go ahead. See if that can get italicized. I'll get that figured out later. Like I said, the formatting is not necessarily a big concern of mine this evening. My concern is at least getting all of Act 1 in here. Then I can worry about the other acts and figure out what characters people are going to be playing. And next week we can worry about characters and, you know, locations and stuff like that. So make sure that is saved. Let's go back to events. So just to verify, all good. Let's see what I'm looking at when I'm not actually editing it. So here's how everything I'm going to be scrolling through. Yeah, definitely need to fix some formatting on this, but this is looking, I think this is looking pretty good so far. Mark, are you weeping at what I'm doing with your baby here? Yeah. Note. Use my tool to play a role-playing game. Ha! But we haven't played yet. I remember I've been saying I was going to do this for 2 years now. So don't say I have played a game until the game has actually been played. Okay. Let's see now. This has got these 2 columns. All right, so this is the last section. So we will go ahead and wrap up this scene. Following quotes. They call this scene the foundation shake. I call it faster, faster, you fool, you fool. Right. See, part of me is like focusing on trying to get this all put in here correctly. Another part of me that, worked college radio 30 years ago is going, dead air, no. So it's like, then another part of me is like, don't yell into the microphone. See, I've got the music down so low I can't hear it at all, so. Which I guess I am not complaining about. But, if I play my preferred Bare Naked Ladies in REM, they're going to, that will not make YouTube happy, so. To a close, read the following. So see, this is hand-holding to both the players and the GM. Thank goodness. So there we go. There we go. I went too far on the quotes. There we go. And so there we go. We now have Act 1 completely put in here. Let's go back over to events. So we've got Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, and Act 1, Scene 3. And, we're talking about how I'm just putting all this information in. Let's take a look. I know Act 1 had the most content out of any of them here, and it used about half the character limit. All of that used about half the character limit, so that's cool. It looks like they got enough that you shouldn't be too afraid of putting all the information you need on the events. Gotta get them interested right off the bat. Throw more lore at their faces. Ah, my eyes. I was told not to get lore in there. All right. Part of me is wondering, do I want to play with timelines right now? But as I have yet to play with timelines, I'm not sure I want to go in there. So for right now, like I said, go back to the main campaign. Let's see. Just so I've got something in just about everything here. Star Trek TM Adventures. Yeah, we don't need to put that in there. All right. Okay, so it is about 6:15. I think really at this point, getting all of Act 1 in is a good stopping point. Let's see. Some of the things, like I said, for next week, what I'm hoping to get into and show a little bit is creating players. We're creating characters and maybe attaching them to players. But getting, I'll get all the artwork cropped out. And we'll find out which players or which characters the Lore Link players would like to play. See who fights over playing the Commodore in charge of the ship. Then we'll also take a look at least, I won't focus on one thing like I did events today. I'll go ahead, I'll take a look at getting a character or two in. I'll take a look at getting a location in, and I don't know, some villains or something like that. We'll get it figured out. I'll do more than just stay in one area with the exception of a single creature next week. So in the meantime, like I said, so far we've got for the Star Trek Adventures starter campaign, we have all of Act 1 added now into Lore Link, and if you go into view mode, then you're able to scroll down and see, the quotes. Here's your different sections. Let's go into the second one, which didn't have as much. Like I said, and then, if you're like me, you'll go through and you'll get the formatting cleaned up, get it where it's not driving you crazy because there's space here and no space here, things like that. But, we got all of Act 1 in about an hour. So that's not bad. So, it takes a while to get everything set up and good to go. So it's looking pretty great. Well, thank you very much. But, okay, let's go ahead and start wrapping it up. It's, 6:30 is not a hard, definite stop time. So we can go a little bit, especially since I'm a master of the Hoosier Goodbye, where, someone's walking out the door and it still takes, 20, 25 minutes to, for them to get to their car. So, but once again, we are Lore Link. We are a campaign management tool that allows you to take all your information from your games. Excited to play it. I swear I'm not just here to stream snipe in advance of the game. But we are a campaign management tool that allows you to take all the notes that you've got everywhere, from your books to your notepads to your clipboards to your fountain pen falling on your face, and get them into one place, and then get everything organized in a way that makes sense to you. And so you've been able to tell from some of the conversation earlier between me and Mark, it's like there is no wrong way to put your information in here. Thank goodness for me. But you can find us over at lorelink.com, and you can sign up for a free tier, and that's a visual learners love this one neat trick. If you can go to lorelink.com, you've got our get started page where it gives you information on how to get into Lore Link. You can subscribe to our newsletter. We'll get all that to a minute. No headset here. I'm lurking. That means you don't have to hear my voice. You're welcome. You have made good choices. Hopefully the captions are working. But, visit here, get signed up, do a free level. Supposed to be writing. check out the free levels, see if this works for you, see how well it helps you clean up your campaigns and make things work for you. Now, if we don't just do this stuff. We also, of course, like everybody else, are active on social media, except since I'm the one in charge of it and I've got to watch my, watch out for myself here. We're mainly active over on Blue Sky. Link is in the chat, and there, we'll do some, questions about how you got started gaming. I'm doing some silly things involving, today is National Earring Day, I believe it was, and so we're looking for links on, places to find cool geeky earrings, and so we try to have a little bit of fun on there. You made it right at the end, right at the very end. We're doing the wrap up, and for that I apologize. But, so you can follow us over on Blue Sky and ask us questions and, just interact. When you're talking to us on Blue Sky, this is who you're talking to. So, just one more wrap up before I continue for those who are joined us late. What we did today was we went in, or by we, I mean me, went in and started putting together the first starter campaign for Star Trek Adventures. And so we started getting the campaign information in. I started doing a little bit with the locations, a little bit with the characters. We're going to go more into that next week. Pretty much what we focused on today was getting the 3 scenes in Act 1 put into the events, because the way I run a game, I like to have all this information right here because I have a limited amount of space, so I don't have room for, the laptop or tablet, and then all the books and my clipboards and all that around me. We prefer to have space for our beverages and snacks. You got to have your priorities during your games. So, but, let's see. Follow us on Blue Sky. You can also subscribe to us over on YouTube. You might actually be watching us there, who knows. Gotta have your table treats. That is correct. But, over on YouTube, that's where we have the archive of all of our streams. I'm slowly going through and adding timestamps to different ones, so you can go to a video and see, okay, this is where Tony did this, or this is where Mark showed you how to do this, that sort of thing. So you can skip through, all the stuff like this, and you can find what you need. Nope, I'm still talking. You have gotten to the point now where I won't shut up. So, but you can definitely give us a follow and subscribe to us over on YouTube. Yay, we like Tony talking. Glad somebody does. But you can also, not just on YouTube, but here on Twitch, you can give us a follow. You can even give us a subscription. I know Mark's got his whole thing about Bezos and boats and all that. I'm just saying, hey, you know what? If you like what we're doing, toss a coin our way. And, we appreciate it. It'll help get us a pizza at a convention or something. So let's see. I've got notes. I made notes because I knew I'd be fried by the end of this. Spare a coin for your Witcher. Toss a coin to your Twitch streamer. We just want to be able to buy the good ramen. Oh, and then some of the I can't remember the name of it right now. So, the dehydrated toppings that you can put on your ramen, like the little shrimp and all that. It's like, those are fantastic. But, let's see. Don't worry. We've, not only do we have social media, not only do we have Twitch and YouTube, we also have a newsletter. If you're wanting everything to go right, we want all your information in one monthly little neat package. So those newsletters come out the 3rd Friday of every month. Mark is the one that normally writes them. I am the one that makes sure Mark gets them written. And on occasion, I'll throw one out there if Mark is just way too busy. But for most of the time, you're getting the news directly from Mark, the brain behind LoreLink. So it's good information. Let you know, what we've been doing on streams, what we're going to be doing on streams, where they are in development of new. Yes, we do not use Substack. And where we are, like, in terms of, hey, we're getting ready to release this, because we're continually working on this. We're continuing to improve LoreLink, taking into account suggestions from our user base, things that we've come across ourselves. They throw new stuff in there. Luna goes through, make sure it's not broken. It gets sent back to them. They will fix it, and then Luna will sign off yay or nay on it, and it's a nice system. They've got it working really well, and then I'm the one that just talks about it. So what's going to be going on next week is I will be back at 5 p.m. Eastern, and as I said, I'm going to do some advanced work. I'm a fan of the Quick Create button in LoreLink. Been trying the free version. Yes, Quick Create. And the thing is, that is great when you're running. For me, Quick Create will be fantastic if I'm running a game that's more than just a quick start adventure. But unfortunately, this is just going to be, I'm putting a choose your own adventure game book into LoreLink for all intents and purposes right now. But next week, we're going to take a look at probably timelines. We're going to take a look at locations. We're going to take a look at characters. And we're going to put that stuff in. We'll try to have the rest of the acts in as events to show you how I've got all that tied together. We'll find out who the LoreLink players want to play. If they want to do like the Ensign, that's a Beta Z. If they want to do the Commander, the Commodore, the Tactical Officer, Medical, whatever. So that's what we're going to be looking at next week. And then once again, make sure at the very least you're giving us a follow, because we are starting to do some really cool streams with independent game creators and writers. Last week we had and go figure, I even backed it and I completely forgot. It's like you'll remind me in the chat, but it's a great Full Send. I knew it was Full S something, and I knew it wasn't Full Stop. Full Send, which is a tarot-based mountaineering game that the couple of the LoreLink players had the opportunity to check out last week, and I was moderating. It looked really cool. Looked like a lot of fun. As I said, I've backed their Kickstarter. It's running right now. You can find that video over on our YouTube channel. But we've got some folks coming up talking about solo journaling games. I think we have the writer of a language book for covering Elvish, if I remember correctly. That's coming up at the end of the month. And then, of course, on the 26th, on the 26th, of course, I will be running Star Trek Adventures for the LoreLink players. Now, with that being said, I think I have vamped enough to actually run this close to 6:30. And normally I'm the one that's telling them, hey guys, I gotta get out of here because it's dinner time. And since I am the one doing the stream, guess what? It is time for me to go to dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and call this an evening. Thankfully, I think everything worked fine for us. We did pretty good. Thank you to everybody in the chat that pitched in, talked with me, all that fun stuff. Please don't forget to check us out, lorelink.com. Give us a follow on Blue Sky at lorelink.com. And with that, thank you all for dropping by. I will see you all next week. Take good care of yourselves and each other. Have a good one.